Now at 7, concern spreading after a confirmed case of measles in Massachusetts.
Get ready for a weekend warm-up when temperatures will climb back into the 90s.
Trouble in paradise. Tourists caught in the chaos as Hurricane Lane bears down on Hawaii.
A war of words between the president and his attorney general.
An ambulance crashing into woods. You won't believe who's behind the wheel.
And Springfield upping the ante. A sneak peek at the new casino opening today.
This is 7 News Today in New England.
Good morning, Boston. Here's a live look at the city skyline. The sun is making its way out up over the horizon, so it's shaping up to be a beautiful Friday. Hope you're ready for the weekend. Thanks for spending your time here with us. I'm Chris Anderson.
And I'm Jennifer Egan. We want to get a check of the forecast now with meteorologist Chris Lambert. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning, guys. Comfortable start. You noticed that walking out the door this morning, even a little bit on the cool side, with temperatures down in the suburbs in the low to mid 50s kicking off the day. Let's get to the maps, show you what's going on. City of Boston now up to 67 degrees. We've gone from 51 to 53 in Nord over the last hour, so definitely a cool start to the day. But with high pressure in control and a good amount of sunshine throughout the day, we do enjoy a warm up, and it will warm up quickly back into the 70s by about 10 o'clock this morning and back into the low to mid 80s as we head into the afternoon. Looks great at the beach today. Looks great at Gillette. Kenny Chesney in town, 84 degrees today and again tomorrow. So the forecast looks solid right through the weekend, guys.
We're following breaking news this morning. 2 firefighters are being treated for minor injuries after battling a house fire in Roslindale. Fire crews responding to the home on Clare Ave. You can see flames coming out of the top floor there and from a first floor window as well. Most of the fire is out right now, but crews are still on the scene, making sure no hot spots flare up at all. Boston Fire says all 6 people inside that home were able to get out safely. The deputy chief says the home's smoke alarms woke that family up. Crews are now trying to figure out what started that fire. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the very latest.
Now at 7, state health officials sounding the alarm, warning the public that they may have been exposed to measles. There's one person who has been diagnosed with this highly contagious disease.
And now they are warning others who may have crossed paths with that patient. 7's Nicole Oliverio is live in Lexington with the very latest. Nicole.
The Department of Public Health says most people are vaccinated against the disease, but if you are not, it is highly contagious. And the person who has the disease, well, went to a lot of public places, including right here at the town pool in Lexington. The Department of Public Health confirming a case of the measles in Lexington.
It's a shock. I mean, it shouldn't be happening here.
State health leaders say Leahy Hospital Medical Center is treating someone with a confirmed case of the highly contagious disease and warning others who may have been exposed. Between August 15th and the 21st, that person visited the library at Lexington High School, the town's swimming pool, and Logan Airport's Terminal B.
I'm not worried about my own kids because they're immunized, but you know, we do have friends that are pregnant or have newborn babies.
Symptoms can appear 10 to 14 days after an exposure and may present like a cold. A rash normally occurs 2 to 4 days later. A person can be contagious for several days before that rash appears. So health leaders are urging everyone to make sure their shots are up to date and urging people who haven't been to get vaccinated.
I think that's always the concern is, if you have older siblings and the siblings are at the pool and they come home and there's a baby or a young child who's not immunized. That's always a concern.
It's a wonderful community, and I'm sure if there's, anything to be done, the townspeople will take care of business.
If you believe you may have been exposed or have questions as to whether or not you have been immunized, you're asked to call your doctors. We're live in Lexington. Nicole Oliverio, 7 News Today in New England.
New this morning, Boston fire officials say a worker was seriously hurt in a construction accident. The deputy chief says the accident happened below ground on Park Avenue just after 1 o'clock this morning. That worker was rushed to the hospital.
Also this morning, crews battling this manhole fire in Southie. You can see it there in the distance toward the right or center of your screen, and the fire is shooting right out of the ground on West 1st Street last night. The crews closed the street so firefighters could put the fire out. Eversource crews have been on the scene all night trying to figure it out and get it fixed.
The Bay State's first casino resort is ready to roll. The MGM Springfield will be open to the public in just a few hours. And 7 News got a sneak peek. The casino going all in in for their VIP party. 7's Kim Lucy is live in Springfield with a closer look for us. Hey, Kim.
Hey, and we're giving you a look inside the casino this morning. Take a look around me. This is some of the more than 2,500 slot machines making up the casino floor. And yes, it has been 3 years and 5 months since the groundbreaking for this casino. And look at what it's become now. 10 to 20,000 people are expected to be here when the doors open in a matter of hours.
Make your bets. MGM Springfield is about to open its doors. The billion-dollar facility covers 3 city blocks with more than 2,500 slots and 120 table games.
This place is going to blow people away.
It's the first resort casino from Massachusetts, featuring bars, a hotel, movie theater, and bowling alley. It also houses several restaurants, including a new Wahlburgers from Dorchester native Mark Wahlberg.
Now to be able to be partners with MGM, part of this great development, it's going to bring so much excitement to this area, so many jobs, and to be able to be a part of the community.
3,000 people have already been hired to work here, 35% of them Springfield residents. The city's mayor says it's the economic jolt they need.
Do you realize that well over 1,000 Springfield residents are now employed here in the city of Springfield?
The casino carries every type of card game MGM offers in Vegas, but officials say they're also focused on nightlife and entertainment.
We're bringing all that entertainment back. All of it's coming back. It's not going to be messing around at Mohegan Sun anymore.
The Native American tribes that run Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods in Connecticut have been working to bring gambling in that state closer to the border, proposing a Hartford area casino to directly compete with MGM. Springfield gets its start before Wynn Resorts plans to open a $2 billion casino development north of Boston next year. The State Gaming Commission believes the region can support them both.
We would have $250 million in tax revenue just by bringing back people who are now in other cities. So I think, or cities and states. So I think the answer to that is yes. Yeah, I think the market will bear because Massachusetts is underserved right now.
And the casino is expected to bring in around $100 million annually for the state. So this is how things are going to work today. All the excitement starts outside this morning with a parade in downtown Springfield at 10:30. Then folks will be allowed in here for the first time at 11 o'clock. Live in Springfield, Kim Lucy, 7 News Today in New England.
Also on 7.
State of emergency in Hawaii as Hurricane Lane gets closer to the islands. The outer bands dropping nearly 2 feet of rain on Hawaiian islands. Crews rescuing at least 5 tourists from the floodwaters near Honolulu. For more on this powerful storm, we want to go live to Natasha Chen, who is on the Big Island with the latest on what they're dealing with.
Well, Chris, the National Weather Service just tweeted a few minutes ago that preliminary storm totals for the Big Island, where we are, as much as 31 inches of rain. The severe flooding is still a very serious issue, especially on the east side of the Big Island. The warning for the island of Hawaii might have been downgraded to that of a tropical storm, but Hurricane Lane is still going to be packing a punch.
Hurricane Lane is still a dangerous and powerful storm, and so we are asking all of our residents statewide to pay attention, listen to the updates and the forecast.
The National Weather Service reports more than 19 inches of rain fell on the Big Island in a 24-hour period, causing mudslides and triggering flooding. More rain is still to come as Lane moves slowly through the Pacific at just 6 miles per hour. Voluntary evacuations are in place for the north side of the island. Meanwhile, on the more populated island of Oahu.
Attention, attention. This is an emergency management message. A hurricane warning.
The Category 3 storm is generating large waves and could make landfall.
With the storm surge, again, we could see problems along our coastline. Want people to be aware.
Residents on all islands are asked to be prepared, stay alert, and not take this storm lightly no matter where they live.
As it gets closer, it gets more important that people shelter in place, either at home or as designated evacuation shelter. We ask everyone to not go out if you don't have to. Stay at home.
Well, the limiting transportation is really key here, not going out if you don't have to. Severe flooding has also prompted police and fire to ask people to evacuate on the east side of the Big Island, and if the conditions get worse, the county says they may not be able to get to people who stay home. Live in Kona, Hawaii, Natasha Chen. Back to you.
All right, Natasha, thank you. A feud heating up this morning. President Trump taking aim at his attorney general after calling him disgraceful and missing in action. For more, let's get right to 7's Amaku Ubaka, who has more on this story.
Well, Jen, the president is already up and tweeting this morning his anger with Attorney General Jeff Sessions hitting a boiling point after his former campaign chairman was found guilty and his former personal attorney pleaded guilty. Here's what he said during an interview with Fox and Friends.
He took the job, and then he said, I'm going to recuse myself. I said, what kind of a man is this? Jeff Sessions never took control of the Justice Department, and it's a sort of an incredible thing.
Sessions didn't hold back in his response, writing Thursday afternoon, quote, I took control of the Department of Justice the day I was sworn in. While I am Attorney General, the actions of the Department of Justice will not be improperly influenced by political considerations. But this morning, the president responding, quoting Sessions' statement, then saying, Jeff, this is great, what everyone wants. So look into all of the corruption on the other side, including deleted emails, Comey lies, and leaks, Mueller, conflicts, McCabe, Strzok, Page. And then in a second tweet, he goes on to say, open up the papers and documents without redaction, question mark. Come on, Jeff. You could do it. The country is waiting. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has suggested that President Trump would fire Sessions after the midterm elections. We'll let you know if Sessions responds to the president this morning. Chris, back over to you.
The Red Sox splitting their series with the Cleveland Indians. The game was scoreless until the 5th inning, and that's when the Sox scored 6 runs. And David Price, another dominant performance, 8 shutout innings. For Price, the Sox went on to win this one 7-zip. They now head to Tampa, where they take on the Rays tonight. Patriots will head down to North Carolina, where they will take on the Panthers in their 3rd preseason game tonight down in Charlotte. This is the team's first road game of the preseason. The Patriots won last week over defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. The 3rd preseason game is typically the one where the starters play the most. Kickoff is set for 7:30 tonight.
At 7:12, there is much more ahead on the news station this morning.
Stay with us on 7 News at 7.
Don't go anywhere. Ahead at 7, an ambulance, a firefighter, and a 13-year-old boy. The wild ride involving all 3 that ended with this crash.
Get ready for a weekend warm-up when temperatures will climb back into the 90s.
And it's a summer tradition. So why are the Patriots sending a video message to country star Kenny Chesney?
And that's not all. Coming up at 7:30, a close encounter for a Linfield driver when a runaway wheel hits her car.
The troubling call a mother received about her daughter walking their dog alone.
And there's a new warning about drinking alcohol that you are going to want to hear.
And it's stop and go out there on the roadways. I'm going to tell you the places you're going to want to avoid this morning. Stay with us here on 7 News Today, New England.